Hello, Internet. This is Whispering Whim, bringing you yet another grocery haul today. And there's quite a bit here. I spent much more than I was expecting to, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Our first item is some loaf pans. It's interesting. I would think of this as like a bread loaf pan, but there's actually a picture of meatloaf in there, which is appropriate. Basically, I am going to try that moussaka recipe this month. I didn't manage it last month. And I was looking at it, and it makes so much food. I'm going to cut the recipe in half, but even cutting it in half, it looked like it was going to be like, feed a family of 8 kind of a situation. So I got these little loaf pans, and I'm just going to make tiny moussakas and put the ones that I don't bake right away in the freezer, because apparently it freezes well. If you do that before you bake it, fingers crossed. It's always fun to try new things though, right? I've been on a new thing kick. So, anyways, moving on. Not new is some good old-fashioned wheat bread. My sister-in-laws are coming over today, actually. Every Cinco de Mayo, we try to make a point to get together. My guy's father passed away many years ago, before I had even met him, so minimum of 10 years ago now. Oh goodness, I'm getting old. But my guy got the news that his father had passed during a Cinco de Mayo party. It wasn't the actual Cinco de Mayo. We're not positive on which day it was because he's never wanted to go hunt down that information. But it was a sad memory for him. So now every year we get together, all the siblings and me. I'm an honorary sister at this point. And we watch a Walter Matthau movie. That is the tradition because apparently their dad looked like Walter Matthau. I have actually never seen a picture of this man, so I don't know if that's an accurate assessment or not, but that's a memory that they hold dear, so I am more than happy to, participate in the tradition. Actually, I kind of created the tradition. Long story short, I got the bread because we're going to have grilled cheese and soup tonight. I usually make tacos, but we've had tacos recently, my guy and I. And then he's going to an actual thing on Cinco de Mayo this year because that's just how the timelines lined up. It's part of a regular weekly thing he does, and he really felt the need to go to it because he'd been skipping a few. But they're going to have tacos since it is Cinco de Mayo when he goes. And anyways, we're going to have grilled cheese sandwiches and soup. Moving on, though. I've got 2 lonely little bananas. I have discovered that I do not eat bananas fast. In fact, when I have breakfast in the morning, it's become a new habit, if I have bananas, to cut the banana in half. They keep pretty well, which surprises me. I just put them in a Ziploc baggie and eat them the next day and it's fine. But yeah, I like bananas, but I just can't eat a whole banana anymore. So that's like a week's supply of bananas right there. And let's see here. We've got onions. Gonna need lots of onions this month. And hopefully this bag isn't as sad as the last bag I got. I think I got that bag on an in-between grocery trip. Yes, I definitely did. But I got a bag of onions, and 2/3 of them were rotten on the inside, and you couldn't tell from the outside at all. They weren't squishy, they didn't smell, the color was fine. As soon as you cut open them, black rings. And I was like, this is very unfortunate. Following that, we have some roasted red pepper and tomato soup. You know, that's for my lunches. And then we have some spaghetti noodles, which now that I'm rethinking it, I probably didn't need to buy. I was debating between spaghetti and the chicken noodle soup / grilled cheese sandwich for tonight's dinner. Because spaghetti's so easy and it's cheap, relatively speaking. But I think they'll like the chicken noodle soup better because I make it completely from scratch and go a little overboard, and it's delicious though. And then, let's see here, finishing out this bag, and I do have, unfortunately, some plastic bags mixed in with my good old cloth ones. I really didn't anticipate how much food I was getting today. I mean, I knew I needed a lot, but I got a lot. But anyways, the last item in that particular bag is some ground nutmeg. This is apparently an ingredient in the moussaka, so it'll be interesting. Like, there's going to be nutmeg and cinnamon in it, and I know it's super, Western thinking, but those are like dessert spices to me, so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this little lasagna casserole thing that I'm making, but I'm going to try it anyways. Let's go ahead and jump into this little bag here. I know I've bragged about this before, but this is like a wine bag. Like, it was a promotion, buy 4 and save 10%, which saving 10% at this particular store is still way more expensive than just going to the liquor store, but that's a topic for another day. But it's fantastic for carrying cans. I love it because it's designed to be sturdy because wine bottles are heavy, so you can just load it up with cans. I love it. Okay. We have some diced tomatoes. One of those is for my moussaka, and the other one I don't remember, but I wrote down tomatoes ×2 on my grocery list, so that's what I got. We have some better than bouillon. This is the chicken flavor. I feel like I go through like one of those maybe every month and a half, 2 months. I use a lot of that stuff. And then following that, we have a can of white beans for our ever classic white bean chili. Feels like I never go a day or a grocery haul without picking up white beans. That's just how it goes. And then we have some store brand mayonnaise in a little squeeze bottle. And I was going to get the name brand because it's like real mayonnaise on it. And I was like, okay, how different are the two mayonnaises? Mayonnaises? How different are the two mayos? There we go. And like ingredient for ingredient, they were in the same order. There was like one little flip-flop. This one uses only whole eggs and the other one had yolks and whole eggs. But other than that, they were essentially the same. So I'm going to try the store brand this time. I was really hoping to cut out a few cents because it's been an expensive last like 30 days for me. Okay, and then following that, we have some good old-fashioned hydrogen peroxide. I have gotten the braces off, and I'm on a retainer now. Retainer's not in at the moment, but this is a good way to clean it, and it's very cheap, so that's what I'm doing. And yeah, I have some complaints about the whole retainer business, but maybe those will get resolved this month, I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Okay. Next up, we have some premium saltine crackers, or galletas de soda, as apparently we have on this side. Is that just... Okay, yeah. There's an English side here, and there's actually a Spanish side. How fun. Anyways, I used the last of these. I got them as a comfort food kind of an item. And I used the last of them, so I had to get some more. They also, this is my favorite thing for cube steak. When you fry them up, you're going to roll them in some sort of breadcrumb or flour or whatever. And I love to do flour, egg, and crushed saltine crackers. That's the way my mom made cube steak, and that's the way I like to make cube steak. All right, come to me, bag. Next up, we have some Cheez-Its Extra Toasty. I know my guy would rather a funky flavor or like pepper jack or something, but I really, really enjoy the extra toasty ones. Something about being almost burnt is just delicious. And then following that, we have lots of Oreos. 2 packages. I've got some Oreo Thins and some mint Oreos. And the reason for this, and part of the reason why today was so expensive and so many groceries, is that this month my guy turns 40. And he wants his birthday to be a big deal. Like, he wants, like, the kiddos, you get all the attention, the cake, and your friends over. Like, deep down he wants that, but he won't say it. And he'll just be glum about it, like, nobody loves me. And he, like, pines away. Even though he has tons of friends. He sees people, like, every week. And he has people that he talks to online every week. And, like, he's not a loser. He's not unsociable. But anyways, so when we were talking about his birthday, I knew I just needed to suck it up and say, you know what? I will plan a birthday party for you. And I will figure it all out. Because he didn't want to have input, basically, because he, A, wanted to feel like that surprise factor, even though it wasn't a surprise party, and B, because he gets a little depressed sometimes. He didn't want to, like, invite a bunch of people and see all the RSVP no's. And sorry, this has been my life for like a month now. I have to say all of it. Thank you for listening. So I went down the road of trying to plan this thing, and first order of operations is where. We live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Like, I would clean up my back shop for you guys, but there's nowhere to put any of this stuff. Maybe I should put this thing on wheels so I can just wheel it away. And finally settled on his mom's house, because she has a house and she's nice. So I hope he forgives me for that. He should be old enough that it's okay to have a birthday at his mom's place, right? Anyways, and then once I got that all pinned down and the date and everything, I sent out invites. And yeah, we have 17 yes RSVPs already, and the party's not for another like 3 weeks. And I'm just like, what am I gonna do? Her house is, it's suitable for like 12 people maybe. But 17? And there might be more RSVPs that come in late. Oh, goodness. So now it's like, okay, I've got a tent. How do I get the tent over there? Because he still wants it to be surprisey. So I need to find a way to move the tent to the location, his mom's place, without using his car, which is the only car that fits a tent that I have access to. So I'll have to talk to his sisters about moving it for me. And I didn't know this would be so hard. It just should be a birthday party, right? Like, people show up, they drink a few things, they eat food, go home. No, it's traumatic. But anyways, the reason why I went down that road, and thank you for listening again, is that I have these because a classic childhood dessert that he used to eat was called grasshopper pie. And it's basically like marshmallow and whipped cream and creme de mint in an Oreo shell crust thing. And all the recipes I could find recommended that you like scrape out the cream. I gotta make like 3 of these, y'all. I'm not scraping out the cream. So I got some Oreo thins. I don't think they'll be enough. So I got his favorite Oreos, which are also mint cream flavor, to fill in, you know, whatever extra crust I need to make these. Okay, moving on. We have some red onion. I hardly ever buy red onion, so it was kind of weird for me. It's very pungent. I don't like my onions to be so pungent, but that is part of the moussaka, so we're gonna do it right the first time, and then I can make adjustments if I don't like something, right? Then we've got some croutons. I would like to say that salad season is upon us. We had some lovely weather for about 2 days, about. And yeah, last 2 days it's been raining. And that might not sound so weird depending on where you are geographically, but I live in a desert and it is not the rainy season. It's a little bizarre. It's been a weird winter for us. I wonder if it's just, happens once in a while, or if I should be worried about global warming. But instead of worrying about that, I'm going to worry about the party some more. So I have 2 packages of garbanzo beans. A lot of his friends, because he's a very, he's good at accumulating all sorts of people from different walks of life and preferences, politically, health-wise, beliefs, everything. So he has a lot of friends that have dietary restrictions. So the main food, there's going to be snacks, but this is going to be like a whole day event with board games and stuff, because that's what would make him the most happy, and I'm going to do it. But anyways, so for the main course, I've decided that it'll be a build your own wrap or salad bar. So I'm going to make some falafel, because that's gluten-free and vegetarian. It's vegan. So we'll have some falafel, we'll have some popcorn chicken, and the other protein is going to be a pork larb moo, which is a Thai salad, and then just stuff for people to build their own meal and be happy. I think they'll be happy. I know they'll be happy. I just like to fuss about these kinds of things. Like if I'm in charge of your birthday party and I have zero, almost no budget, almost no location, and no idea what I'm doing, I'm still gonna try my very best to make it memorable. Okay. Moving along, we have some cracked pepper and olive oil Triscuits. These are for my guys' lunches, so nothing too spectacular there. We have a big old bag of potatoes, which are going to go into various dishes, right? And then I think this next bag is where most of the party stuff ended up. Some good old plastic cups. I debated on using reusables. It would be easy enough in the onset, but because we're doing this at someone else's place, and the party itself will go until at least 9:30, and she's a lovely old lady, I decided to go with disposables just for kindness sake. But anyways, I laughed. I had such an internal debate looking at cups, you guys. So I know, or at least I've heard, The internet tells me that it's very iconic to have the red Solo cups at parties. Like, that's the American thing. People have American themed parties, which is weird. It's very weird to me. And since I know I have some international listeners, I really thought about just buying the red Solo cups. That's, it's the classic. But the store had like only the big pack of them, and I didn't need that many. It was going to cost twice as much. So I didn't get them. But in case the internet is true about this and you guys are all wondering, red Solo cups are definitely common everywhere. You can find them at like any grocery store. But we do not have those. We have clear cups that were like $2 instead of the $4.50 I would have had to pay for the Solo cups. You have some compostable little plates. This will be the dessert plates. And I think it'll be okay that they're white. I am going to try to get him lots of green things for his birthday. So we've got some green plates and some green napkins. He loves Cthulhu, which you guys might have guessed because I sometimes wear like Lovecraftian shirts. It's kind of like a overspill, if you will, into my own life and personality now because his love of the H.P. Lovecraft is just that strong. So we're going to do green things, like the pie and the plates, and I'm going to try to print out a big old banner, and I've got things to do. But green is the word. This is also green, but it's not for the party. I got some good old-fashioned seaweed snacks. Those are for me, so I can pretend I'm being healthy. Actually, there's no pretending this time. I've been kind of, right before the wedding, which was a few years ago now, I was, dieting and exercising, and I was doing actually a really good job of it. And then the pandemic hit, and I had to postpone my wedding, and I gained a little bit of weight back, but not bad. Then after the wedding itself, right, and I keep going, well, because I eat lots of vegetables and stuff, I don't get out enough, and blah, blah, blah. I keep making excuses, but this is the month. This is the month I'm going to start taking care of me much better. So I'm putting that out there because then now I'm accountable, because these grocery hauls are roughly a month apart. So I should be looking healthy and fabulous by the time you see me next. Yeah. Okay. More disposable stuff. These are the bowls, aka salad bowls, for the people who do not want to have the wraps. I'll probably have tortillas and pitas and all that, but I'm not going out and getting gluten-free wraps. So if you want to eat the food, you can have a salad if you're gluten intolerant. Okay. Moving on. We have the Arm & Hammer baking soda toothpaste. I was in for a dental checkup this week, and apparently there's some bad stuff going on with my gums, and my hygienist was very insistent that I switch toothpastes, which I've never met a doctor or hygienist that cared before. So she gave me a little test tube size. It's kind of, the flavor's a bit off because baking soda is kind of salty. But it's supposed to be more gentle on your enamel and things like that. And she wants me to really like scrub up into my gums. They did a deep cleaning. And so I guess I'm doing it. On the plus side, this stuff is like half the price of the toothpaste my guy prefers. And even if I can't get him to switch over to mine, and I have to have two kinds of toothpaste, which I hope I don't, but even if that happens, there's still, some savings there because I'm using the cheaper toothpaste. Okay. Next up, we have some blueberry muffins. It's just for the random breakfasty morning type deal. So this will be tasty. And oh, we've got more than one thing. Okay, next we have a little Brita filter. These things are so expensive. I had not replaced the last one for like 4 months now, and that's a little long. So it's time, even though at the grocery store this is like $12. I mean, $12 isn't that much money, but you know, it was lots of things like that that added up to nearly $300 in food today. Well, food and filters. Okay. Last item for that bag is some good old-fashioned dill relish. Dill. There we go. Dill relish. Dell is a type of computer. My sister-in-laws, they are weird eaters. They're almost like picky kids. They're a lot like picky kids, but then they'll have random things that they like, which I guess is normal for picky kids too. But they don't like most salad dressings. If you're gonna get them to eat a salad, it has to be like one of 2 or 3 specific dressings. They don't like ranch or the vinaigrettes. But what they do like is hamburger sauce, which is a combination of relish, ketchup, and mayo. And they eat that as a salad dressing. And when they come over for dinner, I make it for them. But it is, talk about a calorie bomb. I mean, most dressings are not great for you, but that one cracks me up. It is kind of tasty, though. All right. So we have one more dry bag. The goodies just keep on coming. So let me get this over here. Nice and gentle. We've got some onion mix. This is great for making onion dip. I don't know why anybody ever buys the jar stuff, like sour cream plus onion dip or Lipton onion soup mix is the best onion dip you can get. I mean, maybe there's handmade ones that are better, but I've never tasted one that was superior to just doing that. And there'll be onion dip at the birthday party. There'll be lots of things at the birthday party. Okay. Some good old top ramen, which is my very guilty pleasure because they are not that healthy for me. And I know I just promised that I was going to go on a health kick. But hopefully those will just hang around for like a sick rainy day kind of a situation. Okay, got some little flossers for my teeth situation. Some crushed red pepper. Some Tums. And then, I don't think I've ever eaten marshmallow fluff like ever. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Which is a weird thing. I would have thought that I'd eat that by now. And I need to make so many of these grasshopper pies in the hopes of feeding 17 people that I needed more than one container of the marshmallow cream. So I got the store brand and the name brand so that, because I needed to anyways, I can do a side-by-side taste test. Not today, of course, but when I'm making those. If the stars align, I will try to share that process with you guys, but don't hold your breath. I'm always promising extra content and very rarely delivering on that promise. I'm shifty. Don't trust me. Okay. Next up, we have some headache relief. This is the generic for Excedrin, and that has anesthetamine, aspirin, and caffeine. So, some good old painkillers there. Oh, I got the wrong one. Oh, pooper scooper. I went ahead. I'm so sad now. He really likes the zesty dill pickles. And I just got the regular kosher ones, which is, it's fine. He'll eat those too. But if I were going to get regular pickles, I would have preferred to get the petite ones at Sam's Club because they're cheaper and they're petite. Everything's better when it's small. Right? Yeah. In fact, actually, I am going to put the pickles down and these green apples. That was the other thing in the bag. And I'm going to show you something real quick. So speaking of small, this is my most recent little needle felt. It's been a while since I've self-promoted on the channel, so I feel like I'm allowed to right now. I am a felting artist. I actually teach classes now. I'm at a studio doing the thing. And yeah, it's actually kind of tricky to make them this small. So I'm very proud of myself because usually I make them like, yay big. It's easier to get the details in. But yeah, he's so cute. So very cute. Okay, we have yet another dry bag to go through here. Got some very crinkly coconut caramel fudge cookies, which I've told you in the past is like Girl Scout cookies without paying $8 a box or whatever it's up to now. I run away to see the Girl Scouts right now. And then we've got some Scooby-Doo snacks, cinnamon flavor. The grocery store must have heard my complaints because for a long time, if you bought it in the box like this, it was the honey flavor. But if you bought it in the little individual packets that are bad for the environment, you could get the cinnamon flavor. And that drove me nuts because my guy likes cinnamon. And I wanted to give him those kinds, but I didn't want to waste the plastic. So, yeah, they started carrying both in the box now. So, yay for cinnamon. Then following that, we have some crispy jalapenos. These are great salad toppers, burger toppers. Anywhere you want a little bit of crunch. I've put them on tacos before. And I just add a little bit of crunch and a little bit of heat. They're not too hot though. And then we have some teriyaki sauce. And then last but not least for our dry goods, big old thing of vodka for me. And now we're down to our last two bags. I would say these are the cooler bags, but I unzipped this guy and saw that a few dry items snuck in here as well. I bought so much today. But anyways, first up is a giant bag of rice, which isn't really that giant, but it seems like 5 pounds should be too much rice. We go through a fair bit. I make curry and stir fry and stuff like that pretty regularly. We've got some egg noodles. Those are for the chicken noodle soup that I'll be making today once I wrap up filming. And I'm making the bone broth from a rotisserie chicken, so I've got to still do that part before I make the soup part. Very busy day over here. We got some mandarin oranges. These are for my guy's lunch. Got red bell pepper for one of the stir fries that I'm going to do. Got some green onions. That's for when I make teriyaki chicken. Bacon for breakfast. And then we have some milk for my moussaka. I will be putting a bechamel sauce on top, which is basically a cream sauce that's thickened with eggs and has a bit of cheese in there. I have some kielbasa and cabbage, because that's a classic, come to me, combination. I I love some fried cabbage with kielbasa. So we're gonna do that. Maybe not this week, probably next week. And then have some snow peas, or the expensive store near me calls these Chinese peas. I'm not sure how politically correct that is or isn't, but I love me some snow peas. Got some ginger. And ironically enough, more ginger. And it looks like this one does not have any artificial sweeteners in it. I'm so excited. I actually really love eating pickled ginger. But most of the times the ones in the grocery stores, for whatever reason, have some form of artificial sweetener. I don't care what it is. You guys heard this rant before, I know. But I don't care if it's monk fruit or stevia or Splenda. They all taste like something. There's an aftertaste to every single one of them, and I do not like it. So, real sugar for the win. And then I have some good old-fashioned butter. Ooh, and that actually concludes that bag. Yay! I feel like I've been talking to you guys for quite a while now. I'll be excited to wrap this up and get dinner going and everything. Okay, so one last bag. See if it's a good one. Got some romaine hearts. This is a lot of salad. But it keeps for so much longer if you buy it, not pre-cut and then cut it as you need it. And I thought it was going to be salad season. I thought the weather was going to be nice, but maybe not quite salad season yet. You can have salads when it's cold out, but they're just so much more satisfying when it's warm, right? And then we have some string cheese for my guys' lunches. He's got to have his cheese, always. And then some Parmesan. That will be going in my bechamel sauce. Got some clover sprouts. Some whipping cream for the grasshopper pies. Some mushrooms. I am continuing to try to eat mushrooms. They still gross me out a little bit, but they're tasty at the same time if they're cooked right. I have conflicting opinions about mushrooms. And we have some soba noodles, or stir-fry noodles, really. Yakisoba is the style. And love to use them to make sort of a chow mein, very Americanized, but a chow mein type dish. And then here is our eggplants, or as the rest of the world knows them, aubergines. Aubergines, I think is how it's pronounced. But around these parts, we call them eggplants. And I got 2 of them for the moussaka. And again, that's with a virtually half recipe. The full recipe that I got, and I just got one offline that looked, it was highly recommended. And it had 5 eggplants. I was like, there's no way I'm making, it's gonna be like a casserole like this big. It's gonna be huge. So I got 2. We're gonna do a smaller one. It'll be delicious. And then last but not least, some Colby Jack cheese. This is my favorite cheese for making grilled cheese sandwiches. I like it better than cheddar. I like it way better than American. It's just, it's a good, honest cheese. And when you get the thick cuts like that, tasty. With that, we're all done with our grocery haul today. There is some freezer bread that I bought, but it's just gonna live in the freezer. I didn't feel like dragging it out as a here's my freezer item. But anyways, we're at the end of the video, and that means it is shout out time. So thank you to my lovely commenters. The Viljar or Vilhar, PvP, Hot Sauce 188, Traby Maybe, Max, Crispy Bacon. I hadn't phonetically sounded out that name until just now. Crispy Bacon. Good job, guy. At least I assume it's a guy. Maybe not. And Dulce Crystal. Speaking of usernames like that, long time ago, my middle name is Anne. And I went through a small phase where I wanted to be called Annie. But I made my username Annie May, like anime. And I felt so gosh darn clever. I was probably about 12 at the time, and the online things were still new and fresh. And yeah, just kind of fun memories associated with that. I don't know why I remembered to think about that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you guys next month, okay? Nighty night.